Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here and coming together for an incredible event. I want to welcome our IAC CEO, Alon Mor, former United States Special Envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism, and our special guest tonight, Emmy Award-winning actress Patricia Heaton. I would also like to recognize our public officials, clergy, activists on behalf of the Jewish people, Jewish professionals, and the IAC Colorado Council that are here with us today. Please wave so that we can thank you for all that you do, especially during these crazy days. One of the things that has made this event so special is our honoree, Tai Diamant. I believe many of you sitting in this room know Tai and would agree that he is an incredible attorney, someone who fights not only for his clients, but also for his community. Tai is someone who is passionate about doing the right thing and making a difference. His impact is far and wide and stretches across many areas, including sitting on the boards of the Colorado Agency for Jewish Education and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, as well as sitting on the Jewish Community Relations Council and the Israeli American Council, where he serves as the chair of the council. In addition, he's a committee member of the Kunzberg School of National Jewish and on the Young Leadership Committee at APAC. I think we can all agree this is an impressive list. However, what I want to share about Tai isn't just all about the committees and boards that he sits on. I want to give you a little bit of glimpse of the things some of you may not know. Tai is an incredible friend. He's one of the very few people I would be willing to share a hotel room with. Walking in on him during yoga poses one afternoon at a real estate conference, however, wasn't exactly what I expected to see. But it was that moment, seeing him doing a downward dog, I knew that Tai was like family to me. Speaking of family, Tai adores his. He is the father to 3 amazing kids, and his wife, Amy, is pretty special too. In addition to sharing hotel rooms with Tai, I've had the pleasure of traveling with Tai, working out with Tai, and as I'm sure Ricky and Amy would agree, we may spend more time on the phone with each other than we do with our own wives. During our travels, meetings, and phone calls, we talk about a lot of things, but one thing that has brought us even closer to our connection is Israel. Tai's connection to Israel is deep-rooted. It started in Germany when he attended weekly Sunday schools and took an annual 6-week trip to Israel. Eventually, his family moved to Israel, where he had his bar mitzvah and lived for several years. Tai was always surrounded by his mom's Israeli friends growing up. He has traveled back to Israel about a dozen times and has brought his family as well. It is important to Tai that his family be connected to the culture, language, and traditions of Israel so they can continue the path forward for generations to come. Years ago, Tai and my connection grew stronger again when we once again shared the hotel room. This time, it was at the IAC annual convention. During the convention, it was not only I who found Tai at another hotel room moment. My girls, Yelden and Maya, walked in to grab something from our room one afternoon, and while he wasn't doing yoga at the time, they were surprised to find him in the room, under the covers, watching Wonder Woman. I'm not sure if he was hoping Gal Gadot would pop off the screen and attend the conference, or if he was just falling more in love with Israel in that moment, but was at that conference that Tai's commitment to the IAC solidified. Over the years, I've loved watching Tal become a beacon of light in the community. He's the Energizer Bunny who just never stops. As if all he's done on the boards and committees he sits on isn't enough, he's currently working on passing the definition of IRA in state government. He sits on the Cherry Creek School District Anti-Semitism Task Force and is working with the Jewish Justice League to increase collaboration with Jewish leadership and organization to find ways to fight the anti-Semitism. I rarely find myself at loss of words, but I'm not sure what else to say about Tom. He's a true definition of a mensch. And now it is my absolute honor and pleasure to invite my dear friend and brother from another mother, Tai Diamant, to the stage.
I was all ready to go. People asked me, are you nervous? I said, nah. I've done this too many times the last few months, but after this, after that. So, IAC and tonight, and what we've been doing for the last year plus, especially, happens only with collaboration. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. And it happens within our organization, and it happens outside of our organization. So what I want to do first, of course, is thank all the different people that we've worked with, and I'll do it at the internal level. And it starts with our leader, Alon Mor, regional director. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the immediate past regional director, Tai Diamant, who now works on the national level, but has been invaluable for the last 6 months in helping us. And of course, our council. And so I know they've mentioned before, but I'm going to mention it again, and then we can clap after I name all of them. It's Alon Mor, who also sits on the National Council, Tomel Saban, it's Maya and Kezi Shalev, Yavon Zusman, and Mor Zucker. And then I really want to thank the very hard-working Gala Committee who made this all possible and brought us all here together. Starting with my wife, Amy. As well as Adi Weissman. Susan Kramer. And Ricky Moore and Maya Shalev. I want to go back and especially thank Amy for all the hard work that you put into this over the last few months, and the fact that you keep hanging around despite the million directions that I've been going for the last year, trying to balance that, with the work that I do. I don't know if any of you know, I also, by trade, I'm a lawyer. Do that sometimes. And then balancing that with driving the kids around and helping out at home and being a family person. And I do want to thank both of my kids, 3 kids, two of them are here. Jed and Scarlett. And our college freshman, who is finishing his time and taking finals right now, very fortunately at a very safe campus at the University of Miami. October 7th is another historical moment in the story of Jewish persecution that's etched in our minds. It's just like the Jewish slaves in Egypt, or the expulsion of Jews from Spain in 1492, when pogroms in Russia in the late 1800s, or of course the Holocaust. We're used to waves of anti-Semitism and persecution. Nothing new. It is when the Jews pursue their biblical commandment to love our fellow man, when we let our guards down and allow things to happen and allow us to be vulnerable and for anti-Semitism to erupt. It's what my once Holocaust professor who studied at Tel Aviv University during my study abroad said, it's the eternal latent anti-Semitism. Each new wave comes with a new weapon, whether it's the sword, whether it's crematoria, whether it's social media. And we could all socialize for a long time about what's happening in Israel on the ground. What's heroic acts of the IDF, or how the Israeli military pursues some of the most humane combat rules of any military in the world. We could talk about the significant financial support that Israel gives to Gaza. We could talk about how Israel welcomes Palestinians into its highest social ranks, but we would be preaching to the choir. It is far more trendy and sensational to condemn the Jewish state and condemn the Jewish people that have done so much to advance society, and instead glorify terrorists that brutalize and massacre innocent women and children. That's the world we live in. And if it wasn't dangerous and if it wasn't tragic, I would think it's comic. We were born, me, my brother, my sister, we were born in Germany. And so I feel like I have the right to draw the very eerie comparisons between what we're watching on some campuses in 1939 Germany. And that is comical. October 7th should have opened the eyes to people in the world about the brutal Iran-sponsored terrorism and presented an opportunity for the Palestinians to shed the cancer and to start fresh with new leadership. Instead, it has emboldened a slew of social anarchists that are out there using October 7th, an age-old anti-Semitism, as a call to radicalize our very vulnerable youth and foster violence. But I always believe that every bad thing has something good that can come out of it. And every crisis provides an opportunity. What is our opportunity here? We have learned who our friends are, and fortunately there are many. This room is full of them. We've had the privilege to work with dozens of activists and leaders in our community and in other communities. And we intend to continue to do that so that we can improve the lives and safety of our children in campuses and in schools. And we hope that you will join our mission. Thank you.